If I were to say one skill, there's nothing to me like resilience. Everybody who's looking to expand is going to meet challenges. They're going to meet challenges. They're going to take actions like I make my calls, and they're going to get results, but there's going to be a lot of resistance until they reach those results.
Welcome to Super Entrepreneurs Podcast. I'm your host, Shahid Durrani. Today we have with us Ron Koenigsberg. Ron is a founder and president of American Investment Properties. Welcome to our show, Ron.
It's fun to be here. Thanks, Shahid. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure, Ron. You got into this business back in 2001. If you had to do this all over again, what would you do different?
Interesting. Yes, that's correct. I was a commercial real estate broker working for other people in the mid-90s. And I opened my own firm in 2001. And I've been successful as a deal maker. If I opened my firm very quickly, I'm really proud of myself. When I found something I loved to do in my early 30s, I messed around in my 20s. I didn't know what I wanted to be, but being a salesman, I definitely wanted to be, and being a salesman of commercial real estate is what I really wanted to be. But your question is really interesting to me. I wish that I would have focused more on recruiting. My weak spot is recruiting. My strength is commercial real estate deals.
Okay.
I'm a deal dog. That's what they call guys like me.
So how do you find the deals?
Sure. The way I find my deals is picked an area, commercial. I pick commercial real estate on Long Island. It's the 14th largest market in America. And I call everybody who owns a shopping center, an office building, multifamily building, or an industrial building. So in the beginning, I drove around and I found out who owned the shopping centers by looking at signs, asking tenants, working backwards. Today, that's online. Do I cold call every single morning? I don't think so, but I block off 2 hours. I speak to at least 20 to 25 building owners, some of which I know a long time, some of which are brand new and hang up on me.
So you do cold call?
Yes.
Yeah. How does that feel when you cold call? Are you comfortable with it?
Yes. I've been doing
That's
it.
Good.
The most important part of my job is that cold calling. It's the engine. It's the prospecting plan. I have a plan.
Yeah.
I have a certain amount of people I speak to. I try to get to them 3 times a year, but I definitely have a plan. And that's the most important part of being a commercial real estate broker, having a prospecting plan.
Yes. For any business, really.
I think.
Right?
A prospecting plan. Where is the business coming from?
Yeah. So have you ever considered doing ads and targeting building owners?
I send out, I believe, over 1 million emails per year.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay. So I go through, I send out 1 million emails. I have large signs on buildings.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we advertise in many different ways, but nothing is more effective than speaking to a commercial real estate owner and finding out what's next for them, for their pain points, what problems they're having, how we could help.
And with the current interest rates, how's your business looking?
Okay. This is my business, though it's reflective of the market. And while the market typically 2.5% of all inventory typically trades each year. So once every 40 years, every single building in my marketplace will trade. Now, when
Mhm.
when interest rates are higher, maybe it dips below 2%, and maybe when interest rates are lower, it dips above 3%. But as you can see, Shahid, it's incumbent upon you to work, make the phone calls, and whether you're working at a 2% or 3% success rate, it's unimportant. If you're making the calls and doing everything, it's self-motivated. Yeah, it's easier. It's a lot more fun when interest rates are lower and buildings sell more. Right now, it's just fine. We still set the
But
goals and
you'll
we still hit
buy
the goals.
but you'll buy a building even if the interest rate is at 7-8%.
I broker buildings. I don't own any buildings.
Okay.
Think of me as a real estate broker for a house. The real estate
Mhm.
broker for the house, hopefully they're very professional. They come in. Most of the assets I sell are larger assets. I don't own it. I always thought it was a conflict of interest for me to own those assets.
Interesting. So you
I'm a
don't
broker.
have a
I'm a seasoned
portfolio of your
professional.
own.
I do not. No, I do not. My family owns
So I could see people that you work with, some would appreciate that.
I think it's excellent. I don't want them to think that I'm cherry picking the better assets for
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
If it's so good, why didn't you buy it? Listen, there are real estate brokers who want to own a lot of
Yes.
assets, and that's great.
Mhm.
I've chosen to, for many reasons. One, I'm a bit of a deal dog. So I see something, I know who's going to buy it. I know who it's right for. I know I can earn a commission. And have I wanted to own some of these buildings? Yes, they make a lot of money. They're great assets. Commercial real estate's a great asset. There are four types of commercial real estate: retail, shopping centers, and also triple net properties. When you think of that freestanding McDonald's, that freestanding bank, that freestanding
Yes.
Walgreens, things
Those
like
are as
that.
well.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's retail. And then we're dealing with office buildings. Office buildings can be a small sort of house. It could be a huge office building in Manhattan or in my marketplace. We really stick to Long Island. We have huge
Mhm.
office buildings. Of course, there's industrial buildings. And then, yes, I don't sell homes, but we do sell multifamily
Buildings.
buildings. That's correct. I'm typically a 6 units and above.
6 units and above.
Six,
And you presently have deals of that sort?
of course, absolutely. Yeah, I'll take you
Always
to
have
our
them.
website. Always,
Yeah.
yes.
Is there a reason why you stick to that area and you haven't branched off anywhere else? Because there are many areas that you could work in, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's 1,000,000%. God forbid, Shahid, you said to me, even one of your pets who got sick. You said to me,
Yeah.
I need the best veterinarian. Love my dog. I love my dog. We would get you the best veterinarian, and that veterinarian
Mhm.
would specialize in for whatever problem that they were working on. I'm the specialist. When you come to Long Island, New York, and you want to work in commercial real estate,
That's true.
I'm the specialist. I grew up here. I know this market. I know all the people that are involved in the market. And,
You got to
you
speak to
know,
Ron
you got to
if you
speak to
want that
Ron.
area.
You got to speak
Yeah.
to Ron. And more
Cool.
importantly, these are big assets. Let's just say we're dealing with a $1 to $30 million asset. These are big
Uh-huh.
assets. These are meaningful.
Yeah.
You're going to run into problems. Who's going to take care of the problems? You got to speak to Ron. He knows the environmental
Got to
guys.
speak
He
to
knows the
Ron.
lawyers. He knows the building department people. It's all very local. That's the
So you got to make a slogan out of that.
You got to speak to Ron.
Yeah, something like that. Just brought to mind about my friend that I told you about with the personal injury. He created a phone number. Got hurt, call Kurt.
I
His name
love
is
that.
Kurt. So yeah, so I was
I
like, that was
love
cool.
that. That is
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
I don't have
yeah.
anything catchy right now. I recently wrote a book called Power Broker: How to Be Successful in Business and Life. And that's getting a lot of attention. I'm a 59-year-old
Cool.
commercial real estate broker who's been doing this for close to 30 years. But I've I have recently written a book, and that's gotten me a lot of attention. So
That's awesome. Where can someone pick up that book? From Amazon or from your website?
I have a landing page, which is new to me. The guys is over at social media at Ron Koenigsberg, and maybe you can spell that out for everybody.com. And
It'll
that
be in
will
the show
show
notes.
you. Okay, great. So Power Broker can be purchased. I read it on Audible, so that's on Amazon. And the book can be purchased on Amazon. And I just started a Kajabi 10-module class,
Okay.
but that's all there. And I think it's all very helpful. I really think that it's amazing information. I think we wrote a great book. It's not about being a commercial real estate broker. It's about being a salesperson and the skills that you need to be successful in business and in life. So one of the reasons I was really attracted to your show is when I was listening to you, I think you were on with Morgan Ingram. You said the words exclusive listening.
Yes.
Okay. I call it active listening. I love the fact that you've delved into it. I wrote my book because I'm a career salesperson. Now, you might say I'm a commercial real estate professional, and I am. I have my master's, my CCIM, I have every designation. But the reality of life is I believe success comes from interpersonal skills.
Definitely.
That's simple.
It's all
Okay?
relationships.
I believe 85% of my business knowledge on a daily basis is interpersonal skills. And while I love commercial real estate and I could do it all day long, it's only 15% of my communication. How I deal with people, how I interact with people, how I exclusively listen to them. I've never heard anybody ever say that before. Actively listen. Actively listening is one of the most important parts of my book because people, you said it, you actually said it with Morgan. People just want to be heard and understood. That's it. It's not complicated.
It's the presence of being there. And then unfortunately,
Hardest
because
thing
of
ever.
the highly active mind, when with all the chitter chatter, the labeling, judging, and all that stuff that it
800
does.
words a minute goes through our head.
Yeah.
800 words a minute is going through our head. Can you put away your distractions? Can you really listen? That's why my book was written.
It's an art.
Because hard. You're listening to someone else. It's an art form, and you don't want to interrupt them. Imagine that. You don't want to interrupt somebody. Let them speak. This is challenging stuff. And that's how that's really and truly where I was in my mid-50s, successful salesperson, winning awards. My brother says to me, he's a lawyer, he says to me, "You're not listening." I said, "Of course I'm listening." "What do you mean I'm not listening? You don't even have to. The ears are attached to your head. You just hear it. You're listening." He said, "No, you're not listening. You're not active listening. You're not reflectively listening. You're not putting away your distractions, and you're interrupting people." He's a couple of years older. He's a few years older than me. And I said, "What are you talking about?" At first, obviously, you're a little pushed back. And then the secret unfolded. Then life started to happen for me. Really and truly. I started to repeat back what people were saying to me. And then I started to transfer emotion. Listen, my book's about a lot of things. But what attracted me was you said exclusively listener. Anyone watching this podcast right now, anyone listening, I'll tell you one thing. You want to change your life? Everyone just wants to be heard. Now, is that true of your significant other? Yeah. They just want to be heard. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a great secret.
And you mentioned about being able to listen, actively listen, and Was it your brother that said? Was it your brother that
Yes.
said? Yeah.
Yes.
So what he did is basically plant a seed.
Well,
Initially, what happens is emotionally you get stings when you hear something
of
that you don't
course.
want to hear. What happens in my life, all the transformations that I went on the journey began because of a seed that was planted. And the seed was planted by emotion
That's
waking me up for a moment. And initially I was upset, but then afterwards I said, wait a minute, what was he saying? And I do this to
right.
people. There's situations where, they will show their anger or being upset for being so
Right.
blunt or being very open about it. But I still do it because I care. I care because I see
Well, you
something
got to
that
dig
could
a little
help
deeper. And
them
that's what I
improve.
love about listening
Yeah.
is that you have the
Mm,
opportunity. Questions are amazing. I think
mm,
in America, we're taught how to answer questions, but we're not taught how to ask questions.
mm,
That's the game changer. The
mm.
asking of the questions. You kidding me? You go
Yes,
home to your
Ron.
significant other. Not only are you listening, but now you're asking questions. My book is about a few things. The sales skills that I think that I try to make it as simple for anybody else as humanly possible. I talk about positive thinking, how you're 29% smarter when you're in a good mood. Negativity it's tough. It's tough. It's hard to think clearly.
Mm,
Enthusiasm we talk about in the book. And I love enthusiasm because it can give you courage. If you get
mm,
excited about something, it can give you courage. It can
mm.
literally help you get over fear. I love
Yeah.
talking about public speaking because once you're
Mm,
able to public speak, then everything else, it's practice, skill. Some of the
mm,
other things that we talk about is goal setting. I'm a huge believer in goal setting. Not many.
mm,
Please set a goal. If you like a postage stamp, stick to the envelope until you get there. Stick to it. My goals are right in front of me. And sales is teachable. And in the book,
mm.
we talk about communication, negotiation, relationship skills. Sales is teachable.
So, Ron, can you share one of the most valuable skills that you picked up or learned that has changed your sales game throughout your career?
Sure. All right. The first thing is anyone listening to this, I want them to know one statistic, okay? 85% of current entrepreneurs and business leaders started their career in sales. Women. So these people learned the ability to sell, which includes negotiation, communication, relationship building, problem solving, resilience. And these are the skills that they use every day to be entrepreneurs and business leaders. But to answer your question, Shahid, if I were to say one skill, there's nothing to me like resilience, where we are going to bang. Everybody who's looking to expand is going to meet challenges. They're going to meet challenges. They're going to take actions like I make my calls, and they're going to get results, but there's going to be a lot of resistance until they reach those results. So
Mhm.
overcoming resilience, to me, I don't know. That's been on my mind lately
Mhm. Yeah, resilience is super important in business
in life.
and we in life, yeah, and we sometimes allow our emotions to get in the way, but if we really stay focused on that envelope, like you said, and you don't take no for an answer, you keep going, you will make it. You
Right.
just have to be
These
able to
are all
handle
kind of
the bumps.
these are all wrapped up. Like goal setting gives you the focus to overcome those bumps, to
Mm.
overcome those bumps. We all have challenges. Every single one of us. Everybody's fighting a battle every single day. 8 billion people.
So you said resilience, but my next question, what was your most go-to inner superpower that got you to this point in life?
You're asking a really good question. What is your go-to superpower that I consistently, let's just say am a
Use in your
right.
career.
I think that people, what they want to hear is, are you $1 million every year? Yes. So why do I make $1 million or more in commissions per year? It's the phone calls that we spoke about. It's hard to wake up every single morning and make those have that prospecting plan to make those cold calls every single day. But I will tell you this, there's a broker, he's my idol, Bob Knackel. I know he makes cold calls every single day, and he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, or at least that's what I believe he's worth. What do I know? But he's definitely worth tens of millions of dollars, and he's out there making cold calls every day also. So if there's one thing that I'm proud of, I have called my way to success. And I owe you for helping me identify what maybe has been my best attribute.
Yeah,
I've called
no
my way to
problem.
success. Yeah, thank you.
I love it. No,
Yeah.
that's good. A lot of people find that intimidating, but it's crucial, especially when you're starting out. And you mentioned like you are doing $1 million a year and you still cold call. The other gentleman doing tens of millions of dollars and he's still cold call.
That's right.
And the thing is, your industry is soft cold call because you're just speaking to people, chit-chatting about
That's right.
what is going on in their life. You're not very pushy.
It's it is a soft cold
Yeah.
call. I'm not selling stocks. A stock is sold very quickly. I'm building relationships. I'm talking about assets. I'm meeting with people, but you still get hung up on.
Yeah.
I can't make it a perfect world where the negatives aren't going to happen. Yeah, I can't.
It's going to happen. How you deal with them, that's the key.
That's the resiliency. That's that piece that we've got. That's one of the things I highlighted.
I love it, Ron. It was amazing having you on the show, chatting with you about all this wonderful work that you're doing. I think we are going to be friends moving forward because there might be a group that we could put together to broker a deal because we're part of a network and there's obviously a need for people to create additional sources of income. So why not speak to Ron, especially in that region?
Thank you.
So,
thank you. Yeah, I think the most important thing for anyone tuning in is while Ron is a commercial real estate professional, I've made my career in interpersonal skills. I've written a book on how important and how challenging interpersonal skills are. I don't know why it's not valued and taught in schools. I believe it's so valuable. There's 8 billion of us. All we're going to do, 8 billion people on the planet, all we're going to do is interact with each other. And there should be a guidebook. I got a guidebook. And now I called it Power Broker because I wanted people to feel the powerful information and being able. But it's about how to be successful in business and in life. And it's these interpersonal skills, I think, ultimately, that will give you a richer life and richer relationships, both in business and in life.
Awesome, Ron. Audience, if anybody is looking to build a business, check out his book. Ron, appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on our show, and definitely keep in touch.
I certainly will. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.